tuning in with Tierra Tanai. Welcome to the Biance Den.
Hello. You are now tuned in to the Lions Den. It's your host, of course, me, Tierra Tanai, and I am with special guest artist, mother, business owner, entrepreneur, dancer, entertainer, actress, literally all of that. Miss Biance Badd, y'all.
That was so sweet.
Period. I got my girl here. I'm really excited. Thank you that I got her today because we're going to get into it. We're going to get into a lot of good topics, some motherhood, some music, sexiness, you know, because that's just all we be giving and stuff like that. So, yeah, let's get right into it. But first, we got to start with this little breaking news disclaimer. Just 3 hours ago, at this point, if I'm not mistaken, am I hearing this correctly? 3 hours ago, Summer Walker just announced that her and Larry are no longer an item. That's crazy. We got to pull up to that. We got to pull up to that. I got this cute little thing. Period.
So
Pre-poured. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. So we were literally briefly just discussing this. They broke up. No.
Wait, that's the one she pregnant.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, she's currently pregnant by him. So this is not for people that are not informed. This is not London on Track. This is her new baby daddy. Baby daddy number 2, which is now ex. And I don't know. So okay. Bianca, because we're definitely going to dig into, you know, some relationships of our own, but to start with hers, how do you feel about her, I guess, always broadcasting so heavily her relationships? Like, you can tell she's a lover girl, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, I think we all have a lot of lover girls, which we should.
Right.
But, you know, she's posting so heavily about her relationship, how it is so great, how it's so good, and not saying that we want to see the bad, but she just portrays it as if there is none.
Right.
And now we get a whole script about how really, okay, so we gonna maybe post a little snippet of the text message or whatever so y'all can actually see it for yourselves, but it was real in depth, and she basically just said, like, you know, there is no hard feelings, he's a great father, but basically certain things she just won't tolerate, and in depth we kind of just assume that he cheated on her. That's what we got from it.
Right.
How do you feel about her constantly broadcasting these relationships to the world, to her fans, to her supporters, and then basically them having to retract liking somebody just because they're not dealing with each other no more? Like, do you think that relationships should be kept private, or how do you feel about that, especially in the eye of, like, being a celebrity? Because even you in the city, like, you have a name and people know you, not even just in the city, but different cities, like, you know what I mean, different states. So being an artist and somebody that people are looking up to, how would you manage, I should just say, dealing with your relationship now moving forward? You know, if you were to get in a relationship with somebody, how would you portray that to the world, if you would?
I would say, because coming from somebody like me, I've done it before, and I would just say the best thing to do is not to do it. You know, whether you want to broadcast the good, I just feel like you should kind of like wait and like give it some time, especially if you're not married.
Yeah.
Like, it's always gonna be some hiccups. You know, like you will be thinking that you in something so deep in 3 years, and then on the 4th year, y'all get into something you never thought y'all was gonna get into, but you didn't already posted this man, how in love y'all are those 3 years, and now you ready to tell like the world like some of the bad. But I would just say, just dealing with her situation, even just dealing with mine, like, just don't. It's not good. It's never a good thing to feed your fans and family with the bad shit that go on with you. It's like anything in life. You wanna let people think that it's all good.
The good. So that's a good twist of it, because I know a lot of people will look at it and they'll be like, she only wants us to see the good because she's hiding the bad, and then there's obviously that perspective where it's like, well, no, I mean, I don't want y'all in my business, so y'all can twist it and deter how y'all want to do it. So, and then I do want to show y'all some of the bad so y'all can see some of the realness of me. Like, I'm still you. This is a real relationship.
Exactly.
Like,
I just feel like it's just some stuff you shouldn't post. Like,
what are some things that you feel like just shouldn't be posted, like, publicly regarding a relationship?
I could just use my own example because, like I said, I've been there as a woman and I made these mistakes, and it's crazy that you bringing this up because I just recently like went through something like this. I with my ex, like I decided to post what was going on in that moment because it just happened, and I'm like, you know what? He don't even got social media, but I feel like to reach the people that knew him. You know what? I'm just gonna post because y'all think he this angel. Yeah, like. But now I'm about to show y'all like who he really is, kind of thing. But really, that's only making me look crazy because once I just showed the world who he really is, it's like I still love that other person that he not. Exactly. So I'm kind of with that other person, and I just showed y'all this other half of him that I really didn't want y'all to see. I was only doing out of anger. So I just feel like we just need to learn how to deal with our anger better. Learn how to not go to the internet and post the shit that we go through. Just somehow, I don't know how to get it out. Maybe we need to start having women sessions. Like when our niggas do something wrong, maybe we started getting together as women, talking about it. Like, what do we do? Shit, y'all want to have a burn party? Let's go burn some shit up. Anything, I don't know. But I just feel like we need to, as women, learn how to stop posting our downfalls when it comes to our men on social media. Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that because I too have had my fair share of exploiting and exposing, thinking that I was proving a point. Like, he hurt me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all think that he's just so sweet, and it's like, no, this is what he does, this is what he does. And then you get people that be like, oh my God, I can't believe he did. And you get those other people like, well, girl, you still with him, or you know what I'm saying? Or you gonna be with him as soon as you get off of this, or whatever the case may be. So I definitely think it's important to keep that shit to yourself when it comes to the trauma in your relationships. Like, that can really build. And then on top of that, when you're an influencer like us and a content creator, all the energy that we are giving out is literally being sent out to the people that support us, to the people that watch us every day. So do you want a mass group of people to be mad just because you're mad? Not everybody having a bad day. Like, that's the energy that we carry. Like, we have to start realizing our energy as artists, and I didn't realize that for the longest. And I think that ties a lot into self-care and loving yourself too, because when you get to a certain point where you realize certain things are just not worth the energy, you don't do certain things. Because it's just like, I know if I come out of character for that, it's gonna be a lot that come with it. Like, and I gotta drag a lot of motherfuckers down with me. If I'm going down, everybody's fucking going down. So it's like, do I really want to do that with every situation that I feel like is disrespectful to me? Or do I just want to be like, you know what, let it, because the shit gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening. Then you don't want to grow, and then next thing you know, something bad happened, and now you just put yourself back 10 steps back. 10 steps back, and it's not good. It's like, that's the only way you're gonna be able to determine whether you have really had a real growth or not. Whether you not reacting the same way you act the same way before, you know. So it's like, that's the only way. Once you did react the same way that you would act before, you haven't grown. You have not outgrown your situation or your circumstances. So I feel like you haven't learned your triggers. Exactly. So we would know our triggers, but we would still let things affect them, you know, and be like, you know what, all right, I grew, but I'm gonna let it slide on this one because this like she. But that's not growth. That's not growth. You can't pick and choose when you want to be a healed person. You know what I'm saying? It's either you healed or you not. So that's why I tell people, like, very, very, like, cautiously, like, I am healing. I'm never going to come to you and be like, I'm healed. Girl, I still be cussing motherfuckers the fuck out. So it's like, I know I'm not. You're so right. Yeah, like, you just think about that in a whole different light. I'm healing. I'm not healed. So certain things are still going to trigger me because I'm still trying to figure out, okay, I would think that something doesn't bother me, so I'm moving like, okay, you know, this is good, and then it'll come out of nowhere. Because I'm used to having controlled environments to where it's like, I either put myself in situations or I don't put myself in situations. So now that I'm living life, you know, trying to just live life for the present and not always thinking about what's next, things are going to happen unexpected. And it's like, ooh, how do I react to that? Like, you really have to take that moment. Like, yesterday, girl, I had such a fucking horrible day. Like, I was so stressed out. And normally, like, back in the days when I would have horrible days, I want everybody, I'm cussing random people out that I owe a cuss out from 2008. Like, they don't have nothing to do with my anger today, but because I'm mad and I'm thinking about everything that made me mad, oh yeah, I'm going to fuck. That's literally how it used to be. So now, I literally, whether I gotta cry or I just get silent, like, I sit with my feelings because I don't ever want to prematurely disperse of them. Like, not anymore. I've done enough of that. Like,
So much of that. Like, yeah. I done hit a nigga with my car.
Oh my God, I just tried to so many times. Like, oh, I was so close. Like, hit him, but I didn't stop every time.
He told me, he like,
I can't believe you
ain't gonna
actually
do
did
it. He said that. Girl, I think it's a Leo thing. Like, don't test
too.
That's
what I'm saying. I was almost up that crazy. Like, you almost run me over twice. Like, you were going to do it. I'm just like, you right.
I pressed the pedal a little bit. I ain't like full throttle middle, but I just want to see. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I shocked myself.
Yeah, because you probably was like, I never thought I would really actually put like a touch.
Yeah, I thought in my head it played, but I'm like, this ain't gonna be like a real thing. So that shit was crazy. So yeah, that's definitely a thing about relationships. So going a little bit into that, but like kind of going into motherhood relationships. So as a mother, are you single right now, or are you in a relationship?
I don't know what I'm doing. To be honest, I was just being completely honest. Like, I don't know what to call this because it's like we are working on being better people, like with each other. But at the same time, we don't have a title on it because we know back when we were together and we had a title on it, it kind of like messed things up. So we still live together, and it's like basically you're still in a relationship.
Yeah, know? Right.
So it's like we just really working on being better people because we realized that it's not us. Like when we're in a relationship, it's the stuff that we bring to it because of our own flaws and personality. So we like if we just work on that, and then we come back together as a whole, then maybe that'll help us. But it's like we together because we still, do relationship shit. That's my baby. Like we've been together for 6 years, and I couldn't see myself being with nobody else. He's done his his things, and I've done my things after finding out stuff. But it's like this the first person I could actually see myself being with that we worked through some of the shit that we went through and kind of got better at as we stay together.
So the person that you're dating right now, is this the person that you have a child with or no?
No.
Okay, so how is that relationship? Is there a co-parenting situation where it's like an effective one to where it's just like smooth sailing? I know everything is not smooth sailing,
right?
But you have those situations where it's more easier than hard, and you have situations where sometimes it can be more complicated than easy. So
it's more easier than hard now.
That's good.
Thank God.
Yeah. Hello.
I just feel like we both matured. My child's father, we started off in a real rough space, and it was just real bad at first. But I feel like my baby, she's 5 now, so it's like 5 years. 5 years that went past, and it was like a lot of growth and just learning that had to play into that. So I feel like now we learn how to respect each other's space, relationships. I don't know about each other, but outside of that, we learn how to respect each other's space and the stuff that we got going on. It's never like a problem. Like the person I'm with now, he's been like a really good stepdad to my child since she was 1 year old. Like I said, we've been together for 5 years.
Right.
So she know him like that. Like okay, and he respects that she love him. And I respect that Riley loves certain, like the woman that he had in his life. I don't know if they're still together, but it started to like be like a respect thing, more than it being bad. So it's good now.
So that's really good. And you said as far as like your man and your child's father, like was there ever any conflicts between them, or was everything pretty much just kind of like distant, cordial?
With this one, I did not let my child's father meet him.
Okay.
Like, it's always been like who my child father is and who her dad is, you know what I'm saying? And that's just that. And he don't have to know who I'm with especially not if I'm not married. Like if I was married right now, it'd be like, okay, you're gonna have to meet him, but it's like we've been together for a very long time, and although it's like a marriage, I still haven't introduced him to my child's father because it's like they just need to know how to respect each other from a distance to serious shit start happening.
Now, do you think that can be kind of like, not conflictional, but concerning from his point of view, just because of like, the statics of the world, like the things that people say, like, from step parents or just inside or outside people coming into a situation, like, has he ever concerned that being like a fear of his? Like, I don't know him, like you got him around my baby.
No, because I feel like I got good judge of content. a character, and I just always like. It's not that I'm just perfect at picking a guy and saying that he won't ever do nothing around my child or something, because you never know what could happen. But it's like our child is 5. She talks, you know. She
very well.
She not about to let nothing just go down. Yeah. So she's gonna tell her dad, "Hey, Marlon and I went to the zoo," or Marlon and I. He always heard good things about him, so it's never. I said his name and shit. I was trying to keep it.
we can definitely bleep that out. We can for sure bleep that out for sure.
So she would just always be, you know, like saying good things about him. So I don't think he ever questioned it. And he knew, like I would say things to him about my boyfriend, but it's just that they never met each other. Right. And just like with his girl, you know, like I've heard things about her, you know, sometimes where I FaceTime my child, she's in the background, you know. So he FaceTime me and he's in the background. So we just grew to respect that. Like, hey, if this who the person choose to be around, you know, and then they've been around them for years, obviously they somebody good in their life, you know. So we just judge. We're not really getting into each other's business because we feel like that's what's going to just keep everything smooth. So once we get to being into each other's business about who is who and who be around our kid, we did that when she was young, and it was bad. Yeah. Pulling out guns from people and everything. Like, you ain't been around my kid, you ain't doing this. I feel like we did that so much when she was 1, 2, and 3. It was like, okay, nice.
Let's get something different. She deserves something.
Yeah, she deserves just a little more respect. Hey, you do what you do over there. I just can only pray that you choose somebody that's not gonna harm my child, and you can only do the same.
I love that. I love that. That is awesome. So even with extending that like olive branch as far as like relationships and how we make our money. So you're an artist, you sing, and I feel like you can also rap. Do you like consider yourself to be a rapper too? So yes, you sing and she raps and she dances, she writes, models, like I said, all of that. So I've always loved your music because I've always felt like you had your own sound, and me having my own sound, even when we sing, we have a different tone. Exactly. Like I feel like we're kind of like very like soulful singers. So there's not too many of us like out there, literally. So when I heard your music, it just kind of just like gave me a lot of like, you know, confirmation, because I'm like, it's somebody in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, that's doing this, and she's still sexy and she still say how she feel. Like, so it was real like refreshing to be able to have that like relationship. And I was like, you know, you my girl, whatever. So and you helped put me in a position a lot of times. Like, I mean, she throws showcases. Like, you were throwing a lot, I mean, you still do, but you were throwing a lot of showcases, like when I first met you, and I did a couple of her showcases, and I got a lot of good, like, reactions, I got a lot of fans, I got a lot of riders off your stuff, like, you were playing my music in the clubs, you know what I'm saying, so, like, she really put on for a lot of artists. Like, she has given the platform for a lot of artists, and go into that, like, just a little bit about how you started doing those showcases, what's the name of them, and, like, basically, what made you want to start doing that?
I remember the name of my very first showcase was Let Us Be Great.
Okay, yes. Let Us Be Great showcase, yes.
Let Us Be Great. I don't know, I think it came from a song that I loved, just a quote that I probably heard or read about being great as just a person and an artist. But anyways, I decided to put a showcase together. My homeboy A Money, he reached out to me, he said, you know, all of the artists, you know, every time I see you on something, I noticed that a lot of people want to be on that. Like, so how about you just start throwing them yourself and like trying to see like who want to be a part of it. So I teamed up with him, A Money, shout out to him, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have started to do it. So thank you, A Money 313. But yeah, we started them, and it was amazing because people would come from all over. Like, I was like, okay, like this is really dope, because people was coming from Lansing. You know, it wasn't like crazy like LA or nothing like that, but it was still like places. People were traveling. Yeah, people was traveling basically. Yeah. Even if you came 2 hours away, I still feel like that's a lot. Yeah. You know, to be coming to somebody's showcase, little old me. You know, so Let Us Be Great. It was so good. Like, all of the artists like that I see now, that's somebody. Yeah. You know, I be like amazed at the fact that these are the people that were grinding it out with us. You know, and we're coming up at the showcases and just being, you know, and just, I don't believe in themselves. So it really did. I really loved it. It was a good look for everybody. It was a good look for me. Absolutely. It made me put people in a position to always be able to network and play their new music. It was like, I'm going to the studio tomorrow, but heck yeah, I'm gonna perform it at the Let Us Be Great showcase next week, because I know everybody want to hear this new song. You know, it was a way to just get your music out, meet new people. You know, I've met endless friends from just being at these showcases and going with people like you.
Yeah.
You know, you've always been somebody I admired, just coming out supporting, being a great talent, you know, being so beautiful. And everything you do, you've always shown love and been so passionate about everything you do. Like, reminded me of me, like, oh my God, she really loved, you know, what she do, and people respect her, you know, for that. You know, I love people with their own waves, driven, knowing how to just get their own shit going. Like, I'm so admired by that when it comes to women. So,
we love to be on our shit though.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout out to all of the women, especially the Detroit women. Like,
shout out to
hustle harder, period.
Period.
I love that.
And that went for 7 years, the Let Us Be Great showcase at the Bullfrog. And I bounced around from a few clubs and I changed the names. But
it's a long time.
I was doing it for a very long time.
That's a very long time.
Yeah.
Like, that consistency though is what brought the awareness to your music, and just your artistry in general. So I think it's important as artists, like, of course, you know, focus on what it is that you're passionate about, that you really love to do, but also find different ways to boost that, because, you know, having one wave is cool, but having different ways to connect, make money and stuff like that, like, that's really the way, because you have now different audiences that you're touching, and you're bringing them back to what it is that you really love, which is your music or your art or whatever it is that you do. So expanding on that is very important, and you definitely have done that for so long, consistently though. Being consistent, like, you have always, you've always been consistent. You got to the point where you had a single, Why You Acting Like a Bitch, and you did a challenge to that. Like, that was really, really dope. I participated on. And I love the beat. Like, that song was playing on the radio all the time. Like, how was that? And did you ever fight a winner on the challenge?
Girl, but it's so much.
First off, I want to say, what?
It's so much stuff that went wrong, and it was supposed to be like redone. And girl, but the remix ain't never come out.
You had a remix,
Trina.
Oh my God. So that's big.
Yeah.
Damn.
She was on the remix to Why You Acting Like a Bitch, and we was on tour last year together, and we was premiering the record here for the first time at Club Angelon.
Right.
And like, we were supposed to drop it that night as a premiere, like the performance. You know how they used to do back in the day?
Yeah.
Drop the single as a performance.
Facts.
So that's what we were gonna do. You know, like, okay, the remix is gonna come out as a performance and like a video, and then we're gonna drop the record the next day. It's gonna be like on all platforms. But so much stuff happened with that. Like, I can't even. It's such big of a story that I can't even explain it.
No worries.
But it's like, the track is done. You know, the record is like, I want to just put it out, but right now it's so much that, like, that had to happen behind the scenes, because it didn't come out during that time. That when it was supposed to, that it got to be orchestrated right. And with the challenge, like, I think the coronavirus had happened right after I was getting all this shit, and I had kind of got discouraged from everything after the coronavirus. I'm like, you know what? I'm done with all of this. I'm done with the record. I'm done with everything. I didn't want to do nothing with the song anymore. Like, I done got these people to do this challenge, this happening. We can't even perform. You know, I can't even do what I need to do with this. You know what? I'm just gonna come back out when this is over, which I still plan on doing. Like, everybody that ever participated in it, I was just gonna, you know, do something for them. And then with the record, we was gonna do a whole new challenge with Trina being on the remix now and everything. So it's still in the works, to be honest. Like, to us, the song is going to get old, because it's like, okay, she's been promoting this song for some years now, but to the world, they don't know it yet. Exactly. So I'm still planning and working on some stuff with that record.
That's good. So what else do you have coming as far as your music? Are you working on an album? Are you working on any, like, major features or collaborations, say, with anybody in the city or even anybody outside of the city? Like, what's to come from Biance Badd? What can we expect from you?
Well, right now I have been doing a lot of features, like hooks, really. That's kind of like what I've been kind of rolling with, being like the new female hook guy here of Detroit, because a lot of records that I began to do for the males that's popping here, they like hit, they were like smashes. So I was like, okay, I want to continue to do the hooks.
Who were a couple of hooks that you covered as far as, like, artists in the city, like, who have you worked with?
Payroll was one of them. Peasy, obviously, like, me and him, we getting ready to work on something new.
Okay.
Yep. I forgot. I gotta think of some other people. Oh, what's his name? That's in the group for payroll and all of them.
HBK.
Yeah, HBK. I did something for him. I'm trying to think of like just all the lame Detroit rappers.
Shit, that's 3 creds right there. Y'all make sure y'all
Thank you. It's a couple. Please don't be mad at me if I don't say your name because I can't think my mind is
My girl be working.
messed up right now. There's a few more. Thank you.
So we got some features, and then are you working on the project?
Yes, I'm actually working on the album right now. I've been working on it for a very long time. Like I took a break on doing shows and touring for like 2 years, especially when the coronavirus happened. I found God, and I just really started giving my life back to God and everything like that. So during that time, I started to just like write and say, you know what, I'm just create music, and when I want to like formulate an album from what I created, then I'll do that. So that's basically what I'm still in the process of doing, just like working on music all the time. It's people that's close to me and they just still haven't heard it because I still want it to be a surprise to them. People like, I know you're working on something, like, why haven't you played it? Like, because this time coming around, I just really want things to be a full surprising element. I want to be that real artist that people, you know, is waiting on, you know. Yeah. So I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna work on the best music I could possibly work on, and then I'm gonna just put plans behind it and put it out. And that gotta take me 2-3 years from now. I don't care how long it takes, but I want it to be right when I come back out.
I feel that. So where can people find your music already? Where can they find you on their social media? You know, shout us out your Instagram, your YouTube, whatever else that you have.
Everything is BianceBadd, so it's at BIANCE and then underscore BADD. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Apple Music. Everything is BianceBadd. It don't have the underscore on everything, but you can type in BianceBadd and you're gonna find it. So make sure y'all follow me on that. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube. I'm getting ready to start doing R&B edition one mics, you know, like the drop mic thing.
Oh, please.
Yeah, because I see that everybody's doing the rapping. So yes. I'm like, I'm going to change it up. We're doing it at 36 Vision Studio, which is where I throw my showcases now. And yeah, it's about to be real dope. I'm calling it All I Need Is One Mic. Wait. Yeah, all I got is one mic. And the ladies about to come kill it. I got some really dope people on the roster that y'all wait and see. But yeah, I'm so ready for that.
Yeah, me too. Because
I'm also teamed up with the coordinator from the Detroit Pistons. So I'm getting ready to start giving artists the opportunity to perform there at the arena, like throwing auditions there and stuff like that. I'm performing myself too as well. But
come on now.
I've always been the type of person that, although I'm an artist myself, I love to be behind the scenes and like be that person that's putting on for artists as well. So I'm just working on a lot, throwing up summer jams again, the underground summer jams again next year and all of that. So it just, I'm getting back to it and with the music. But if y'all haven't heard nothing, it's only because I've been working on me.
Come on now.
But yeah, once I'm ready to, you know, once I feel like I got some records that I really want to release, then I'm gonna put an album together, which I'm working on now, and I'm gonna release it. But I just don't know when, y'all. I don't know what date or year. I just know that it's in the works.
In the works. That's important though. I love that. It's a healing journey going on for a lot of people
exactly.
right now. And I think that's really important because next year, you know, by the time 2023 will come around, that shit it'll start panning out for everybody.
Exactly.
Like, so yeah, I'm really proud of you for taking this time to, you know, just put your ducks in a row and everything like that, girl. I'm super excited to see what you got going on. We're gonna have you back though, cause it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. We're gonna get a little schmick-she for y'all the next time. So make sure that you stay tuned because we have some shit going on. But thanks you so much for coming. Period. I can't stand that, girl.
I can't help but to say the shit all the time.
Please stop reposting that fucking girl. Oh my gosh, I want everyone to stop. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's done now. Look the way
why? I didn't see her on my goddamn timeline.
Got something new.
Fucking period. Like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. The Lions Den, New House Studios, BianceBadd, Tierra Tanai.
It's only space up in this room. We should be slow grinding. a love song. He really loves to hear me when I show. Looks like magic how he walks over water.